welcome back to yet another review. We're going to be having a look at another one of the early Jackie Chan vehicles from the Loway area, and that is Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin, released here by 88 Films. Another one I had back on video way back in the day. Made in 1978 and directed by Chen, who you may remember from my previous review, directed Chan in Half a Loaf of Kung Fu. You always got the impression, as I mentioned in that review as well, like I say, that when Jackie worked with Hua, he was allowed a lot more freedom. He was allowed a lot more creativity. He was allowed to breathe a bit more, both as like a performer, as an actor, as like the idea of having more of a creative input into the film process and regarding the action scenes and what actually happens in the movie. He seems, when he worked with Hua, with like Snake and Crane, Half a Loaf, he seems a lot more relaxed on camera. And the films, like I say, it's not... you haven't got Loway behind the camera trying to do the typical, as I mentioned, typical silent, moody hero that, that sort of that Bruce Lee-esque type role, which Jackie Chan was never ever going to be. That was not going to be Jackie Chan. Not to say Jackie Chan can't do serious roles, because he can, and he can do them really well. But it was that comedic side, that slapstick side, that really allowed him to sort of move forward, and it's what audiences, what drew them in and what they wanted to see. So much more at ease here, really comfortable on camera without, like I say, Loway breathing down his neck, trying and failing to make him as the next Bruce Lee clone. Though a lot of the movies from that period in Chan's career are not regarded to be that good, there are some standouts, like I've mentioned before, in regards to, say, Dragon Fist, Spiritual Kung Fu. There are some that really do pop out, and they're not all bad. A couple of them are, yes, they are quite bad. I will be trying to review all the movies from that era of Jackie Chan's career, but looking at Snake and Crane today, there are some standouts, and they really aren't as bad as some people make them out to be. Like I say, some are not as good as others, but they're not awful. They're not all of them. They're not all terrible. But as I say, some are much worse than others. I said in my previous reviews, I absolutely love Dragon Fist and Spiritual Kung Fu. Snake and Crane, again, is one of the better ones, and a good fun film with some great choreography here, with Jackie working as stunt coordinator. And a lot of people do like Snake and Crane. A lot of people do say this is actually probably one of the best, from that period. If you put aside Snake and the Eagle Shadow, Drunken Master, if you look at just the Loway productions, a lot of people do like Snake and Crane. A lot of people... I know a lot of people like Spiritual Kung Fu. A lot of people like Shaolin Wooden Men as well. But Snake and Crane, again, is regarded to be one of the better ones, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So the movie opens like many of these films did, with like a martial arts display from our lead, Jackie Chan, like they did in a lot of Kung Fu movies back then, as the opening credits roll. We get some excellent spear work here. Again, Jackie using the tonfa, which is something I've mentioned quite a lot. It's mentioned quite a lot. So if you look at Spiritual Kung Fu, if you look at City Hunter, if you look at the end of Dragon Fist, Jackie Chan does have sort of an affinity with the tonfa. I'm not saying he uses it in every single film, but there's definitely sort of sometimes you get this sense that Jackie Chan enjoyed working with tonfas, and even at the very start of this film, that's what he's using just while the opening credits roll. Using the tonfas along with the sword, he really did, as I say, used to like using this weapon. I don't care what anyone says. As I say, you look at other films, it's definitely one of Jackie's favourites. So we learn about these 8 Grandmasters who have met some sort of, who they meet to sort of combine their styles to make one ultimate style. These 8 Grandmasters of Kung Fu, which they want to call the 8 Steps of the Snake and Crane. And after electing one of their masters to be their leader, they all sort of vanish mysteriously. Now that's what I like about this movie as well. There's a mystery going on. There's a sense of like, so what happened to them? That's never really explained. Obviously it does get explained, but you're never quite sure with this film what Jackie's character, like what his angle is, until like sort of it gets revealed later on, because you're not sure what Jackie's angle is. You're not sure what happened to these masters. You're not sure why he's gone out of his way to make sure everybody knows that he's got the book. The film isn't perfect by any means, but it is a fun film, and there is a lot to be enjoyed here. So we meet Jackie, and you get some guys ambushing him and fighting as he has like the manual of this style. So again, you're thinking, how did Jackie end up with the manual? There's just that mystery going on, which I think works with the movie. Even in the opening scene, there is some good stuff here with Jackie Chan fighting some thugs in snow, which visually gives the films a lot more scope. And this is, you can tell it's cold there because you can see, like I say, the condensation on people's mouths coming out of the people's mouths when they're breathing. That you can tell it's cold, but where they're fighting in snow, it just does give the film a lot more scope. It's it just makes the film sort of stand out from that traditional stereotypical kung fu setting that we've seen before. Jackie plays I think his name is Su Yen Fong, I think, if I can say it right, Su Yen Fong. Then he meets this younger beggar girl who is pretending to be a guy, as many like sort of girls did in sort of some of them kung fu movies, going back even to like sort of Chinese opera. Where people are talking about this book vanishing at the same time as these masters. What is good about this film is you don't have to wait for any action. It is pretty much off as soon as the film begins, and it doesn't stop much throughout the movie. It's not like you have to wait X amount of time for the first fight or the first brawl to happen. It's very much the fights come quite thick and they come quite fast. People challenging, the idea is Jackie's got this book and people will just keep challenging him for the book. Some good stuff at the end, very early on in the film, with Jackie flipping over tables and chairs. Can tell he's really getting used to like sort of set pieces here. Some good combos from him against the thugs. So Jackie Chan is approached by this guy who only uses like 2 syllables at one point, and he is sent by Nora Miao, who is of the Tang clan. Nora Miao, you remember, she's in quite a few of the Jackie Chans. She's also most famous for being in like the Bruce Lees. Has sort of a brief cameo in Big Boss, but a main role that loads of people remember her from is Way of the Dragon. So she's of this Tang clan. She wants to buy the book as her father is missing. It's really nice to see Nora Miao actually engage in fight sequences in this movie. It's really nice to see Nora actually taking part. She actually gets some action in the choreography, and you actually see Nora Miao to do some kung fu, and she's, it's really awesome to see that. I've seen her engage in some fight sequences, obviously under direction from Jackie Chan, but she does an amazing job, and it's just, I've said in a few other reviews, it's always fantastic to see her, she acted with Bruce Lee, and here she is acting with Jackie Chan. It's just great stuff. There's also these guys, some Big Trouble in Little China type guys with hats on, like them big, huge rice hats who are sort of lurking around and sort of spying on Jackie Chan. Again, you're not sure who they are. There's always this mystery with this film. You're not sure. Okay, you want their book, but Jackie's book, but who are they from? What's their angle? What clan are they from? That kind of thing. So the whole film is Jackie basically looking for a man with a mark on his shoulder. Like he's got a shoulder scar, and it's revealed that that's who Jackie Chan is looking for, and he doesn't want to reveal anything until he's found this guy. He says, I will tell people. There's a couple of people he meets. He says, I will tell you, but not until I've found this guy who's got this scar on his shoulder. What is very interesting as well is that as an audience, like I mentioned earlier, you have no idea how Jackie Chan got the book, why he's looking for a man with a scar, what his plan is, and that's what keeps the film interesting and holds your attention. It's not like exactly what's going on the whole time. You're kept in the dark. Pretty much like everybody who wants the book off Jackie Chan is, like you as an audience are kept in the dark as well. It just holds your attention. So the beggar girl who you met earlier, who's sort of pretending to be a guy, she reveals that she's actually a girl. Then this old beggar just comes out of nowhere whilst Jackie Chan is in his rooms, who also wants the book. This beggar just comes out of nowhere. Jackie Chan will be just in his room, and this beggar's probably been there for God knows how long, and he'll just emerge saying, yeah, I want the book as well. So the villain, Mr. Chen, also wants this book, and he sent the guys with basically the big hats, and that's of the Black Dragon clan. So then Jackie Chan is summoned by Lady Sung of the Black Dragon clan, and then this other guy, Fung Si Pin from another clan, comes in to save Jackie Chan, kills her and her henchman, and gets in sort of Jackie Chan's favour. If all these names are coming at you thick and fast, I do apologise. It may not make too much sense me describing this, but yeah, this guy saves Jackie Chan. Just basically to get in his favours, like, you saved my life, I helped you out from her, sort of Jackie Chan thinks, okay, well, he's a friend, he's aiding me, he's looking after me, like he says he wants the book, but he, wants to just help protect Jackie Chan. So the beggar girl's father is of the Tiger Clan, the one who was pretending to be sort of a guy at the start, and he wants the book so he can sort of control the kung fu world. Though Jackie Chan sort of knows this all along. So we learn that Jackie Chan is reporting to his master in like a secluded hut. So there is somebody who Jackie Chan is reporting to. You're not quite sure who it is at this point, but there is somebody he's reporting to. So there is obviously a scheme going on. There is a plan going on. Even earlier on in the film, when this guy, you find out as well that with this guy, when he was talking about the book or making out obvious that he's got the book, Jackie Chan was actually working with Jackie Chan as well, because what Jackie Chan is trying to do is draw attention to himself. He wants to lure people out who want the book so he can find this guy with the scar. He's purposely doing it to draw him out, like to draw loads out. I will say this film definitely has a cold, like I mentioned, a cold look and feel. So you can see the condensation coming out of their mouths and how freezing it looks in some scenes. I can't stress that enough, just how cold this film looks in certain scenes and certain sequences. But so it turns out Fong Su Pin is actually working for the Black Dragon Clan. He was the one who's sort of trying to get in Jackie's favour, and he just tried to get Jackie's trust and sort of injures him. Nora and her clan sort of nurse him back to health, as she wants him alive, as she wants answers. So then this random beggar turns up again who just crops out of nowhere in like the most, you'll be, like I say, he just keeps popping out of these places, this beggar. He comes out, he's also on Jackie's side. So Jackie actually does have people that, although they want the book, they want to sort of look after him. They're not after killing him as such. They just want answers. They just want to know the truth. And in order to do that, they want to keep Jackie alive. They want to make sure he's okay. The Tiger Clan take Jackie Chan and like lock him up, and even though they got the book off him and it's all blank pages, so like what Jackie's got is sort of not, the guy from the head chief of the Tiger Clan reads the book, it's all blank, there's nothing in it. What I can't understand is, like, for some reason though, he still thinks Jackie's got the book. Like, he locks Jackie Chan up. For some reason, he still thinks he has it, even though like Jackie Chan might just be really good at kung fu. The guy reads the book and it's all blank, but for some reason in his head, he thinks, well, he's still got the book. So the beggar and his friend and Nora Miao and her assistant go to rescue Jackie, and the friend of the beggar gets taken hostage too and escapes with Jackie Chan. If I'm going through this too fast, like really whipping through it, I do apologise. I'm just trying to give a brief synopsis rundown of actually what happens and throughout the movie. So the Black Dragon Clan, if I can say it right, stage a hold up on like this convoy, and at this point all the people wanting the book turn up, and of course a rumble ensues. Of course, when all the clans come together, there's going to be a massive showdown. There's going to be a big kung fu fight. So that's what happens. They make out they're sort of going to take down this convoy. Everybody sort of comes out, all the different clans wanting the book. I will say, when Jackie Chan gets caught and imprisoned by the Tiger Clan, he sort of disappears from the film for a bit. It's not like he doesn't take centre stage for a little while, and doesn't really have much to do in regards to progressing the plot. The film is still very fun and definitely worth watching, but I think, again, like I say, where he was probably stunt coordinator and action director, he was probably just enjoying like having that moment where he isn't in the film. He does have a 5-10 minute breather where he can use that time where they're shooting them scenes to help people backstage and behind the scenes work on their choreography and the next fight sequence and so forth. I'd say probably just enjoying the experience of working behind the camera as well as in front of it. I would imagine what was going on there. So the young girl from earlier dies, like from Tiger Clan. She dies at the expense of the leader of the Black Dragon Clan. So Jackie Chan takes all the people on his side to see his Sifu, who was one of the masters who disappeared at the start of the movie. So there's a lot more going on to this, like with this film, than your usual kung fu movie. There is definitely a lot more happening in the plot, especially, like I say, I find myself when I'm describing this sounding really confusing. But yeah, Jackie Chan takes the people on his side to go and see this master who was one of the Grand Masters from the beginning of the film, who disappeared. We find out that their well that they were drinking from was poisoned, and that a masked man appeared and attacked them, who is the leader of the Dragon Clan, and was and Jackie's master, Jackie's master who sort of gave him the scar. So he poisoned the well. The masters drank it. He sort of ambushed them, and Jackie's guy that he was looking after ends up scarring the guy. Jackie Chan, let's say, who was helping to try and like lure him out. So the film ends with the leader of the Black Dragon clan having to fight Jackie on one-on-one. Of course, it can never be 2v2 or 3v3. Jackie Chan has to do it alone. It has to be him, kicking the bad guy's ass, basically. If you watch this fight, watch how the bad guy's hair goes from loose to being all tied up in certain scenes. Like, you can sort of see him there. Like, there it's loose, but sometimes in that end fight sequence, it goes from being loose, like going everywhere with the wind, and then some scenes, there's about a minute where it changes to being tied up, and then it's like loose again. But look out for that. It's just where I've seen it, like I say, a few, like, good, like, number of times now. I just always notice that guy's hair at the end. It just sort of goes from being tied up to loose to tied up. So we have a one-on-one fight, and you even have like wilderness assassins turn up to like sort of take on Jackie Chan with spears, even though I thought at the point, it was agreed it was just going to be a one-on-one fight. You got Jackie Chan taking on these guys with spears, a bit unfair, but Jackie Chan prevails. If you watch this as well, when he's taking on these dudes with the spears, and if you look at the dodges Jackie Chan is doing, some of it is so close. It really is so close, and it must have required like pinpoint accuracy. There's a very similar thing in Fearless Hyena as well. But these, regardless of whether it's props or whatever, the things going that close to your face, near to your eyeball or whatever, it's going to hurt, regardless of what is sort of necessarily made of. But some of the dodges and things where he's taking on these spear-wielding people at the end, really, you watch it and just look how close it is getting to Jackie Chan. It must have been so accurate. And of course, like I say, Jackie Chan beats them, kills the end guy. All is well with the world. But sorry if that plot was a bit confusing. As I say, it's not your stereotypical kung fu movie. There is a bit of an interesting dynamic here, and that's what I like about Snake and Crane. There is that mystery to it. There is that you're not even really sure, like I say, who Jackie is, what his motive is, what is actually really going on. But you got some great fun fight sequences. You got Jackie Chan obviously enjoying himself here a lot more. The choreography's really great. The end fight sequence is good, but it's not sort of a classic fight sequence, I would say, compared to something like the end of Drunken Master or Young Master, but it's still enjoyable nonetheless, for even like I say, where he's dodging the spears. And it's great to see Nora Miao here as well, just having a blast and getting to take part in some of the choreography and action scenes. But if you've never seen Snake and Crane and you're interested in sort of some earlier sort of Jackie Chan, other than like Snake and Eagle, Shadow and Drunken Master, definitely check this out, because as mentioned, it's definitely one of the better ones from the Lo Wei era. I know this isn't directed by Lo Wei, but it's still considered sort of a Lo Wei. It's done by the Lo Wei company film. So if you've never seen Snake and Crane, check it out. Or if you have seen Snake and Crane, let me know in the comments below what you think of it, if it's one of your favourites from that time. And thanks for watching the review, and I'll see you again soon.